Okay, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Leon Karena.
and this is the How Hustle Mistake Morning Show. Today, we're talking with Teresa Wynn, and we are talking dragons and dragon channeling, and really how it also kind of creates the spaciousness to release some of the density that we have in this world.
A few words about Teresa. Teresa is a Dragon Channel energy healer, well-being thought leader, and speaker. Her mission is to reduce human suffering and help people transmute their fears so that they can feel empowered and alive and believe that and again, their best life through dragon energy. She believes that it is your birthright to live a life fueled by purpose and ignited by passion. Her superpower is helping you to open your heart and release. Look inside yourself and see past mistakes and stories as a source of power to change your future so that you can move forward in your life and create a next level success, whatever that looks like for you. Her wish for you is that you experience your self love is greater than the love you've received from anyone else. Welcome, Teresa.
Love
That's
that.
beautifully stated.
Hi, Janet. Hi, Lianka. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm
Oh my
excited to be
goodness.
here.
We were so moved by when we saw that you started to integrate when you looked like you were possessed on the mountain.
I don't know if that was your
I don't
word.
know if that's exactly where it was, but I just
Yeah.
remember, people, your facilitator was just had her hand holding you down, your body was shaking and trembling. What if we start right there? Tell us what it was like when the dragon energy really came into you. And I want to share what it's for, why it's here, and how it helps people.
Yeah. So that was actually the second time that I channeled dragons in Mount Shasta. It was after a retreat that I was helping to support. The ladies had already left, and my first activation was the first night of the retreat. Totally unplanned, right? If had I known the dragons would channel through me that way, I don't think that I would have gone to Mount Shasta because it was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary. I didn't know what was happening in my body. I didn't like these the energy in me was not familiar. Like people will say, it feels familiar. Like it was not familiar to me. It
Hmm.
was in my head, what is going on? I don't understand. Like I'm not in control of all of this. But the only reason why I was able to be in that state of allowance and surrender is because I had a safe space. Like I had people who I trusted and who understood, energy healing and who could keep the riffraff out, who could
Hmm.
hold me in this container of sacredness and safety. And so I just let myself completely go. And what I mean by that is I allowed the energy to move and to express however it wanted to express. And so that video that you saw was after the retreat attendees had left, and even after that first experience, I was like, "Was this real?"
Oh.
Wow. Right?
And
Yeah,
you have a video of it and everything, right? You're like,
yeah,
it's amazing
yeah.
how we do
I
that.
was like, I was still questioning myself, which is so
Sure.
bizarre. Even all after all of that, like I wasn't under the influence of substances or
Mhm.
alcohol or anything. I was completely sober, and so that video was yeah, the second day of me just like, okay, needing to validate again, is this real? And what I can tell you about that experience was that it really was to calibrate my body to be able to eventually work as the dragon channel, be able to channel the way that I do, which I feel like is everybody has a unique way of doing it. It's just that I've never seen anyone channel this way before.
Mm-mm.
And so it's was kind of getting me used to like this wild
Hmm.
energy. And then even the way that I channel through my tongue movements, kind of getting me used to that right away. It wasn't like an ease in. It was like, this is what it is. This is how we're going to be doing it. And getting me used to that feeling, used to being comfortable with it, used to the awkwardness of it. where it gets to the point now, obviously, it's just a part of me. There's no awkwardness in it.
Mhm.
Although I still say it's weird because it's weird to people. I
Sure,
realize
sure,
Yeah,
that, right?
sure. Yes,
Um,
yes.
it's less
yeah,
weird to us.
yeah.
We're the home of the woo.
Yes.
It was funny. In January, we did this rewire event, and you came on, and then the next day, I was doing some of this channeling, and mine came through with these like, tongue things, although I really thought I was just channeling the Arcturian still. And then later on, they corrected me and said, no, you're upon this Arcturian dragon collective. Do you
Mm.
know what you're like? Is it more defined at all or?
Mine's
Mhm.
not defined at all. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I call them the Dragon Collective because I needed a
Yes.
name for them,
Yeah,
Sure.
but
yes.
they didn't say we are the Dragon Collective.
Uh-huh.
Based on what they've shared with me, they don't particularly love labels or names because it limits them with what they're able to do. So if I say I work with Arcturian dragons, there's
Mhm.
a particular type of energy with that.
Sure.
And so then people kind of expect something,
I
right?
gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like,
So
yeah.
it's much broader, and it's a lot of them, so it's not limited to the galactic dragons. There's earth dragons, there's fairy dragons, there's like dragons that are from
Hmm.
like no dimension. So they're from everywhere and every place.
Uh-huh. I love it. I love that that's how it is because that's my understanding of them too, that they're everywhere. And but I am specifically, of this guardian collective kind of thing. So it's like so totally different, yet it still uses that same kind of flair.
Mm.
Maybe your dragon collective, one of them or a piece of them awoken mine or something like that.
I imagine
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Yeah,
That's,
it
I mean,
seems
it
kind of
happens a
makes sense.
lot. It
Yeah.
I
happens a
imagine.
lot. Yeah, it's a big activation of turning on these light switches within people, and sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's just turning on a few until, the timing of it is right. But I've found that channeling dragons in the way that I do has been very activating for people.
Mm.
They are waking up to ancient dormant gifts. So
Yeah.
why I say ancient dormant gifts is because they are so ancient that people cannot explain what it is.
Yeah.
They're
Hmm.
like, I'm channeling something really old, really ancient. There's not a name for it, but it is, with the earth, or it's with the dragons, or it's with the water, whatever
Mhm.
it is so old. And I think that's what's unique about dragon energy is that it is so ancient. And so it allows people to be able to be in that energy where their gifts of um, that same ancient frequency. I wish I could
Yeah.
Uh,
have
Yeah.
there's another name for ancient besides old. But that same ancient frequency gets activated, gets turned on for them as well.
yeah.
I agree.
Well,
Why do you think that this energy is emerging for collectively at this point in time?
Yeah. And this is all in collaboration and partnership with every other energy that is here to help humanity evolve and expand into 5D. And just because, like our goal is to shift the frequency from 3 to 5D does not mean that we can't go back and forth either. So I don't want people to feel like, oh, if I shift into 5D, like I'm going to lose everyone in 3D. And that's not true. Like if you're shifting into 5D, you have the ability to go back into 3D and be able to support people in that
Yes.
space. But it's always someone's choice, right? Whether or not they want to change. So there's no forcing, but there is an energy to support those people who do want to be able to change. And the dragon energy is just part of that team, but it's a different way. It's like, some people would like to run in a 5K marathon. Other people want to walk in a 5K marathon. It's just a different energy and a different preference,
Mhm.
of how people would like to be able to move in that direction.
Absolutely. I really find, or maybe you can refine it, but I really feel that you're here to awaken people, like awaken them to who they are, awaken them to the love that they are, getting them to really acknowledge who they are. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, yes. So the group of dragons that I work with really are here primarily for the healers and light workers, those people who want to create a big impact. Not everybody has that desire, but I do. And I know that the people who present with the dragon energy in the same types of frequency and vibration that I do have that same desire.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't know that, like at all, right? Like they'll show up to healing and they'll have their activation where their body is moving and it's convulsing and they're making these noises that they've never made before. It's like my activation for the first time. So they'll have that experience and I'll explain to them, I'm like, you're going to be creating a lot of change and you may not want to do it now, but you're going to be called to do it, And I know we all have free will, but that call will continue to pull at them. And, there will be a lot of signs and synchronicities for them to finally step up to the plate. That is like the primary reason I believe now for me and why I'm here is to help people become leaders in this mission of the evolution of humanity. And I have to do that through these activations or showing up with the weird and then teaching people, what is this dragon energy? It's not just sound and frequency. There's a purpose. I think that's the hardest part is explaining to people what dragon energy is at a grounded level. Because when I first started researching, I was like, I don't understand any of this.
Right. Let me ask
Like
you another
even
question that you had here. Basically, how does dragon energy different from other spiritual energies too? So if you can kind of talk about that as you talk about this.
Yeah, so the way I see dragon energy is it's it's efficient and it's um powerful and it gets right to the core. There's no messing around. And so I like the fast efficiency of that energy, but it's also very orgasmic. Not in a like a
Yeah.
sexual way, but in the energetic way where you need sort of that the intensity
Yeah.
of
Mhm.
that energy to move into your body in order to break up the density within your
Mhm.
body. Yeah. But also for people to, like, it is a way of waking them up, like letting them know that
Sure.
energy is real. Because when you have that visceral feeling, it's hard to pretend it wasn't there. And then
Yes.
you might have it, and then you might be like, shit, was that real? And then you'll realize, no, like I didn't imagine that. Right.
Right.
And so there's these pillars. I'll call them pillars. We call them pillars of dragon energy. And I'll explain them briefly just so the audience can get a high level understanding. And the Dragon Collective and I kind of have worked through this like over the last year and a half, trying to, it's like me trying to understand, like, no, make
Sure.
it really simple. So the first pillar is creation energy. And this is the pure, untamed energy of life force. And
Mhm.
again, it's orgasmic, it's fertile, it's generative, and there's the sensual, primal, and full desire of wanting to live life and being the creator of your life. And where this is where the energy is born. So when you work with the creation part of dragon energy, this is where the energy is born, and you get to feel like you're turned on by life again, and new ideas and inspiration, purpose, a desire, like a deep desire to change, to shift in a different part of the way you want to work or the way you want to appear in life. Like that starts to reawaken again. It's just like this deep soul calling rising within your body, and it starts in the root, where you ground everything and you use the womb space, move up your chakras into the space of the void. You call in your team, you call in the dragons. There's like I'll call it a process for it, but this is a way you can work with them to create, before it starts to manifest. So this is
Wow.
before the manifestation part. And this is oftentimes where people can experience like the orgasmic energy. Not that they can't in any of the other pillars. And also, none of these pillars are in order, meaning you can experience one or all or in a particular order. It's all random, meaning there's no like you have to go through like,
Sure.
create.
So can
And
you repeat the three pillars again?
oh yes,
She's about
there's
to, she's
five.
about,
Oh,
There's
there's
five,
five.
but
she's
I'm
about
going to
to
go
go
through
to,
each one. I'm
yeah,
going to go through
yeah.
Okay.
each
Oh,
one.
great.
Yep.
Perfect.
So the first one is creation. The second one is activation, which we spoke about earlier, where you're waking up your dormant gifts.
Hmm.
And once that life force in you starts to flow, the dragon energy, it activates your inner gifts, these gifts that have been asleep, these gifts that have been suppressed, these gifts that have been hidden. And the golden shadow, the gifts that we are meant to have and we're meant to express, but we're too embarrassed to, or we're too ashamed to. And this is when the activation energy starts to turn on, because things will happen, like the tongue movements, the body undulating, physical
Hmm.
things will start to happen in order to get you to not pretend anymore
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
that, this is happening. Like it's time for your awakening. And
Hmm.
so you remember this ancient wisdom, this ancient knowledge, which you may not be able to put words to, but you just know that it is freaking old. And so that's the activation. You're turning back on the gifts inside yourself, and the light switches are flipping. The next one is transformation. So we all kind of have a broad understanding what transformation is. And it is that particular meaning, but the Dragon Collective talks more about it not being like the caterpillar to the butterfly, but it's the cocoon part. It's the messy, nasty, slimy, gross part that, nobody wants to look at. And you can also think of it as, the what is that term? Um, I've totally forgot about it. But the time when you're like in the depths of it, night of the soul, something night of the soul.
Oh,
When
yeah.
Dark
Dark
night of
Night
the
of Soul.
yes,
soul.
thank you.
No
I was
worries.
like, I know it's something night of the
I'm
soul. I don't
psychic, but not that psychic.
have. Yeah, so it's kind of like Dark Night of the Soul.
Yes.
But you meet your fear and your pain and your suffering, and it is like you burning it down to its core, but it's not avoidance. It is you're meeting it, you're confronting it, you're seeing it, and then
Hmm.
we alchemize it. So it's not you escaping your past, you're alchemizing it. This is where the emotional charge dissolves and it turns into a medicine for you. It's that shift that you have from a past trauma. It doesn't trigger you as much anymore. So working with dragons can help you to transform that energy. And then
Hmm.
there's transmutation, which is also something that people experience a lot of during dragon energy experiences, where it is the dissolving of the wounded, the dissolving of the pain into light and
Yeah.
into strength and into wisdom. Um, and yeah, it's just the dissolving of it. It no longer has the same polar power over you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then transfiguration, I feel like this one was the
Mm.
hardest to explain because to me, transfiguration is kind of like shape shifting. I think of Archangel Michael, I always think like he can shape shift into everything and anything. So I thought that when they brought up that word transfiguration
Mm.
and shape shifting, that's what they meant. But it
Yeah.
really is shape shifting into your true essence. So this is your rebirth where you're no longer becoming, but you are. Like you're not becoming anything, you're just being, and it's the embodiment of your soul and body merged. And I feel like I don't even think I've gotten to this point yet, but
Mhm.
parts of it, right? Like I think all of us will shift into like a a part of transfiguration. But this is where, your energy changes. Like you're literally, your energy field changes. Literally,
Mhm.
the grid that sits around your energy
Yep.
becomes
Yeah.
redesigned.
Yeah.
And the grid that sits around your energy field isn't just a grid. Like it doesn't have to look like a grid. It can look like designs, which I've
Yeah.
seen, and it's like
Yeah.
so beautiful. So
Sacred
all
Yeah.
of that
geometry.
can change, when you're in that transfiguration, which means when the grid changes, your energy changes, and
Yep.
people see that. But
And
not
you,
just that, because your energy that literally that field changes, right? You change.
Yes.
So
hmm
yeah, it is like
Yeah.
the phoenix has risen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the five pillars. So it is
That's
creation,
cool.
activation, transformation, transmutation, and
Transfiguration.
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 Yes. Awesome.
Wow, how cool is that?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
it's fun. When we have the dragon activation, we'll have you demonstrate in a minute. But, it does feel like that. It is kind of this orgasmic feeling, like something's coming alive from inside.
Mm-hmm.
And at least that's how I experience it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. But I always have to tell people, you may not experience it that way,
Sure.
so
Well,
you gotta
yeah.
like remove the expectations, but
Uh-huh.
oftentimes people do. Like if people can get into a full state of surrender
Yeah.
where they're out of their minds, right? If you can just not be
Mhm.
in your head, you'll feel the orgasmic energy. You'll
Yep.
feel like the physical activation.
Yeah.
And that's
Ooh.
why you enjoyed being in such a safe space. That's why it was important for you to have that safe space so that you could relax, you could surrender fully. Sometimes if you have so much noise around you, or if you don't feel like you're around amongst people that could receive you in that way, there is a tendency to climb off and hold back
Yes,
from that full surrender. Yes. So
yes.
that's why it's so important to either work with a mentor, I think, right? Or to create that safe space, at least in the ways that you show us here as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I would with any time that you're working with energy, right? You want to have a mentor
I think
working
Yeah,
so.
I
with
agree.
certain
Yeah.
types of energy. I think people, you can read books. I think reading books is great. I don't want to like discount that, but there are unseen forces that can manipulate and trick you into thinking that you're doing something that you're not. And only
Mm.
a seasoned healer or a seasoned mentor would be able to share that with you.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so I think
Yes.
that's kind of like one of the things that I learned as well is that just through working with other people
Mhm.
and them not having mentorship is that these tricksters will come in, not to scare people, it's just a
Yes.
reality. These tricksters will come in and pretend that they're archangels, and because these people are practicing, they don't really know what an archangel energy might feel like under the supervision of an experienced mentor. They're working with false light.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that discernment of the truth really makes you
Exactly.
feel lighter and the lie makes you feel heavier is so in play with almost everything. And you've got to truly calibrate from within to know you're light and heavy. When, I started this work and I was just having chaos because things were waking me up in the middle of the night and all kinds of stupid stuff. Stupid entities, I guess I should
Mhm,
say.
mhm.
I had to know, how do you get rid of these entities? How do you, really know the difference between light and heavy? Because sometimes I thought, well, it feels light that,
Yeah.
because I want it, therefore it feels light. And
Yes.
sometimes that's true, but not always. That's not always true, I found. So
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think that those little practices you don't learn if you're not around a mentor that has already attuned themselves to these kind of
Sure.
frequencies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
And can be a guidance point too. I think even when we have some people raise their hand and ask a question, many times the speaker, the person, the expert that's answering the question can immediately feel tap in and feel that that might be a trickster, comment or words. And usually those come from like a place of fear. If you're hearing any fear, if you're receiving any messages that just don't feel right, even if it's one of our trusted speakers, our truths can be different, and it's
Mhm.
why we have so many different varieties of information here.
Hmm.
So how do you discern well, or
In
how
my
do
body.
you, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. And I
Yeah,
just
it's
wanted you
always
to say that
been
out
in my
loud.
body. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just it's either a constriction or an expansion. And to your point, Jenna, about in the beginning when I first had my awakening, and in the middle of the night, I had these dreams
Mhm.
and experiences. Um, yeah, I mean, for me, they could say whatever they wanted, but if I didn't feel right in my body, if there was a heaviness or a constriction, or my heart was racing, but not in a way that made me feel um, excited, then I knew there was something there. Yeah, so that's for the most part. And then I also have my spiritual friends, the ones who are spiritual mentors themselves. I'm always tapped in to that group
Mhm.
because
Right.
we all have questions. Hey, can you double check something for me? Hey,
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
getting this feeling, but I don't know if it's like my bias or if it's my intuition. Like I need you to help
Mhm.
me. So
Yes.
even as mentors and teachers, we have those moments where we're tested as well.
Yeah, I've really found being within a community, it's helped me drop the walls and so I can come out and be vulnerably say it just like I see it,
Hmm.
even.
Hmm.
Sometimes we like to put a facade over and a beautiful smile kind of thing. And it was
Hmm.
like that way to get through.
That brings me to, and this is a little bit off topic, but I think it might be important to kind of highlight. You had this really cute TikTok that was, I think it was a TikTok or Instagram, but it was a post, and I guess what I'm trying to say is, let me just say this. So it was you and your husband, and you were kind of talking about, and I can't even use the same words, I'm paraphrasing here. And it was basically talking about, like, you had he was the one narrating, and he basically was like, my wife does this and it's very different. And he's like, but I didn't know that it could be very expansive, and how, I'm paraphrasing. Eventually he could see the goodness in everything that you were doing with this really different energies.
Yes.
Sometimes, and this you might be able to comment, and I thought it was hilarious, by the way. So I showed my husband. It was so cute. Y'all did
Oh.
it very well. I thought it was just such a great invitation. But sometimes not everything that we share within our community and with our mentors is meant for everyone else just yet.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know from that post you had that dynamic as well. And
Yeah.
as excited
Absolutely.
as I get, not everything I need to go run and tell my husband, right?
Yeah, I'm not
Right. I
sure if
mean,
on my Instagram I'm going to put Arcturian Dragon channel even yet, right? Eventually, there probably will be a space where I do that. But I'm like, dude, I have my son's wedding coming up. I think I'm going to hide just a little bit longer before my family goes, what is that?
yeah. Yeah. Well, even when I first started doing sound baths like 6 years ago, people thought that was strange,
Right, right.
And
Right?
now
Yes.
it's just like
They're like,
mainstream.
please take
It's
me to
so
that
mainstream,
bath.
it's so funny, but it was so not at the time. You're right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. So with the dragon channeling, I was so embarrassed by it because of the way I channeled. And I did hide it from my husband. I hid it from everybody except for those people who were at the retreat, obviously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were kind of my safe space and still are. For a period of about 2 years, I think, before I finally
Wow.
decided to share it. But I
Mhm.
only shared it because when I was sharing it with small groups of people that I trusted, they were experiencing
Yeah.
healing, and they were short spurts. They weren't long. So I thought, why am I hiding this? Like this is
Yeah.
really
Mhm.
helping
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
Yeah, so then I started on TikTok because TikTok is wild and crazy. And I thought,
Yeah, yeah, it
well, I'm
is.
sure there are crazier things than dragon channeling, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
kind of gave me like some comfort.
sure, sure.
Mhm.
Instagram, I feel like, I don't know, whatever. It
Yeah,
might
yeah,
just
yeah,
be my
yeah,
own
yeah, yeah.
assumption. But, anyways, I was on TikTok and I throw a video out there and like people are responding like in a positive way. And there are 60 seconds transmissions, you know. And I
Mhm.
thought, okay, let's keep this going, see what else, we can drum up, see if there's more interest. And it just keeps growing and it just continues to surprise me how these quick activations people are, things like, oh my
Yes.
God, this back pain that I'm having, like that has been bothering me, finally feels relief.
Oh,
Or
good.
Wow.
this sounds so familiar to me.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Like I feel like I'm coming home.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at home with you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the people will say like the physical sort of feelings,
Yeah.
like this electricity running through their body, or, my hand is switching, or
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
sorts of
Absolutely.
things. So yeah, I did hide it for a while because I was embarrassed and I was ashamed and I was scared. I was scared of most of all what my family
Isn't
thought.
that funny? Yeah.
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 But here
And
was this gift that you had for the world. I'm bless you for
Mhm.
stepping into all of you for sharing because we get to experiencing you here now. But there is a little bit of left, especially when it comes to our family sometimes.
Mhm.
yes, I
Yeah.
mean, my parents don't really know I do this, but
Yeah.
they don't have to know. They're
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the old
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
They know I channel archangels, but
Mhm.
if to say it, I channel dragons, even though dragons are a part of our ethnicity, our culture, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
different.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Dragons are still mystical. It's not
Right.
a
Sure.
real thing in our
Thing.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so my parents don't know, but my husband knows. My husband knows only because I have been doing it. I didn't have
Yeah.
to explain it to him. He
Oh.
started hearing me channel, and then he comes to my retreats. He's our chef, and he sees, these
Oh.
people come in, he sees them the first day, he sees them the last day, and he
Mm.
sees the shift in energy.
Wow.
And then all
How
the weird
cool.
things that, we do in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wouldn't say he's a believer because he's
Yeah.
not. He
Yeah.
still
Mhm.
doesn't believe in dragons, but he supports the work that I do.
I love
Yeah.
that so much. Thank you for sharing
It's
that,
funny. I
Venerable.
wrote my dragon book in 2007, and when I was writing it, I wasn't even letting my husband know that I was writing it.
Oh,
Mm.
And then
wow.
I self-published it in 90 days, and he's like, "Do I get a copy of the book?" And I'm
Oh.
like, "No," because it's totally weird. But it's not, I mean, gosh, it's like elementary now in comparison to where it was in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There just wasn't a lot
Of
shared or
talk,
known.
no. A
Yes.
lot of people were doing with these weird things, and I think they just were like, nope, just for me, I'm not seeing anything because
Hmm.
everyone will judge me.
And that's exactly why we wanted
So
to
glad
create
it's
this,
changing.
yes, this community, this show, and this summits like this is so that we could have these forums for change and for
Hmm.
bringing more of this magic into the world. I mean, it's such a gift, like
Yeah.
golly. Anyway, I'd like for us to be able to either
Hmm.
take colors or to
I
work
would
into
like to
your
experience your
work.
work.
Yeah.
I think it's just so unique and it's so expansive that, I'd love if we can do a little activation.
Yeah. Yeah. We can totally do that. Let me just get one tool. So, one of the things that dragons love is sound. So if anyone can work with drums or like, rattles or anything, singing bowls, they really resonate with sound and that is very activating as well. So I always like to work with some sort of sound if I can. Okay, so since my free gift has to do with abundance, I think this activation will focus on um, being able to receive and being in the energy of abundance, whether it's you wanting to receive like the ideal and meant to be soulmate or money or career, whatever abundance means to you. So we'll do that kind of activation. And all you have to do is you can keep your eyes closed or open, it doesn't matter. But no matter how different the sound, or if you keep your eyes open and my mouth and tongue starts moving like that, just allow yourself to like stay really open to this different, peculiar energy. It's just different and peculiar, and see what happens. Okay. Oops, 1 second. I'm going to change my settings so they can hear all of it. Okay. How did that feel? How did that feel for everyone?
I felt like we just entered Avatar. Yeah.
I could feel my body just like going like, oh, like this contraction, and then it like opens, and I was like, I don't know how much I want to do on this camera, but I'm gonna just go with it because I said I would.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta get back in.
And my neck was like doing like this. I was like, wow. I was like, okay. And then, the head movement was up and down. Like I already knew that my body was like, it wants to do its own thing. Like,
Yeah,
but
so
I
glad
knew
that
this.
you allowed it to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that.
I was like, all right, I'm going with it. As long as I don't fall off my chair and out of the camera.
Tiffany said in the chat she got a huge revelation about her unique gift. Yeah.
Yeah, Tiffany.
Yeah.
I feel the
That's
denser energies lifted. Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Karen said, I was shown the same place they took me before.
Oh, fun.
Wow.
Yeah, my heart is opening. Oh man, I totally felt that too. Like I just was like, oh, and I was like, wow, my heart kept like
Yeah, it's like
cavity.
it
Yeah.
forces itself open.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't quit smiling. Oh, super freeing. Oh yes, I love it so much
Love that.
too. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm kind of called to ask when your live events are, your in-person events, and
If you want to tell us a
whereabouts
little
are
bit of
they?
that,
I'd
yeah.
love for you to tell us about that, and then we'll go ahead and share your special offer. And then just everyone that we will be sharing everyone's free offers tomorrow. So that'll be like this big wave of y'all wanting free offers, and you go back to watch all the interviews.
Or at least it's an invitation to.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I yeah, I have monthly virtual sound dragon sound activations.
Hmm.
Usually around the full moon. Sometimes when I'm traveling, it can't be on the full moon, so those days will shift. But typically they are on the full moon. So the next one is not on the full moon because I'm traveling again, but I think it's November 4th or November 5th. And they're around
Awesome.
$55, so generally very
Uh-huh.
affordable. And
Great.
then
Wow.
I'll do like a December New Year's one special. That one will be low. It's like $11 just so
Oh,
people can
Awesome.
join
great.
in the energy of the new year, new frequency, new energy, whatever,
Yeah.
they want for their new life.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's there in Dallas, Texas?
Sorry, that one is virtual. And then my
Okay, cool.
in-person, yeah, and my in-person retreats are usually or around the Dallas area. So those are the only
Mhm.
in-person events I do are retreats. They're 1 to 2 hours away from Dallas, and
Wow.
they're around 4 to 5 days in length.
Oh, wow. Fun.
Great.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yay.
That sounds very fun.
I know. It sounds enticing.
Yeah. Fabulous.
I wondered if there was any questions from the audience that if you wanted to raise your hand, I know that we're probably all in, oh, hands flew up. So all in this little bit of like, ooh.
All right, Carolyn, go ahead.
Hello, thank you. This is the first time that I'm hearing you, and when you just did that, my teeth were vibrating, my heart was as big as way past my house, and then your sounds started to activate my pineal, and yeah, and then it just started expanding from there. So I 100% want to go to your events and listen to you more. Thank you.
Yes.
One of my questions was that I have had lucid dreams of looking into it, waking up and I lucid dream, but I was looking in a dragon's eye and I fly like a dragon and go to the top of a mountain. And one of my aspects of me in the 12th dimension can turn into anything, but she turns into an iridescent dragon. And I was just wondering, um, is that just me and my imagination, or do you see dragon energy at all?
That's fun you ask. You know it's real. You know it's real, right? You just need someone to confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's real. And oftentimes you become one with your dragons. So like when you were saying you kind of like became the dragons and you were flying, it's like you're merging with the dragon that you're working with. And also I've noticed this, and this isn't for all translucent dragons, it's for some that I've noticed, is these dragons with the translucency on their scales, they have these codes. They're these light codes. And they're usually used for healing and rewriting the wounded within the body. So, like, I'm not sure if you're a healer or you want to become a healer or what your path is, but you can embody that uh, dragon and use the frequency of the codes on their scales. I don't know why I keep tapping on their shoulder. I think I saw someone's comment. But you can use the frequency of the codes within the scales to rewrite the code that is currently sitting in that density right there. So again, it's like rewriting the codes that are outside of our energy field or hold our energy field. You can also rewrite the codes that are holding that pain that's in your body. Mhm.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great
Thank
question.
you.
One of the free gifts that I'm sharing tomorrow is one of the dragon voyages that I did with the Arcturian dragons that has an opalescent iridescent
How funny.
color. A lot of them have that opaly is what it
Yeah,
looks like
to
in
me,
my
it's like an
mind's eye.
Oreo slick kind of look.
Uh-huh.
And it has that like I can't even.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
it's the first time I would ever heard them as light codes or codes
Yeah,
for
I didn't,
healing.
I
That's
didn't,
amazing.
like now it seems like that is almost like a sacred geometry in that
Yeah,
is kind of how
it's
I'm
like sacred
perceiving that.
geometry. Hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that would be a like code to upgrade something to change. We had some cool physical healings that happened just in that little short time. Joe says, I received a healing in my left shoulder. Thank you. And then Katie responded, I think it healed my whole body! Exclamation point. I could, it's funny when I have somebody on my massage table and I'm working on their body, they do often do those undulations where the body is just trying to move out some of that density.
Hmm.
It's just so interesting how frequency just does that.
Hmm.
I'm fascinated. It just seems like there's some real synergy here whenever I think I had a little resistance to your work, and then I'm like, oh, I'm running towards your work because I feel like that there's something going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it works directly with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So
absolutely. If you're
yeah.
doing
It's
that and your
very
spine
similar.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very similar to the work that so like in QHHT, we ask the higher self to
Mm,
heal and to really release from the body some of these traumas, and you'll see the body doing stuff.
mm,
And I
so
remember
clearly.
being on the table and like and I feel it felt very similar, but it felt different. And I think that
Mhm.
might be the difference that you talk about in the dragon energy. I think
Mhm.
that's fascinating as well. I look forward to learning more about that in the future too, as you traverse through that
Yeah.
difference of the energies
Yeah.
too.
Thank you.
Tiffany says, my message was about healing her healing abilities, and your activations helped me move through the trauma. This makes so much sense. And it says, I can feel the buzzing energy through my body.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yes.
Love
Yep.
it. Thank you, everyone, for sharing that. Yeah.
Wow. It's so fast too.
That's what she said.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's probably why I'm a part of this energy because I'm not a slow person.
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, I'll even like interrupt. I'm like, this isn't good. This conversation's not even going fast enough. I'm like, I got to get more.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I am like
patience
a racehorse.
is not a virtue of mine. I do have I have to work on that.
Yes,
But
me
yes.
too.
I'm like, as her partner.
She especially does.
I didn't put words there. Oh, too fun. One of the other things that, oh, fantastic end of the summit. I
Thank
agree.
you
Did you want to
guys.
talk a little bit about the special offer? Do we? Yeah.
Yes, let's share your special offer.
How did
Um,
time go so fast?
yes, I know, my
No, it always
goodness.
does. It always does.
Uh, and again, all the freebies are coming tomorrow. This is her unique special offer that is also on abundance.
Okay, so this one has three parts to it.
Okay.
The first one is the dragon sound activations. So there's one for clearing your chakras, one to clear negative energy, and the other one to attract abundance. And so when you listen to them, they're layers of sound infused with the dragon light language, helping to basically do all those three things
Yeah.
that are represented of the titles of those soundtracks. And then the money mindset course is 7 weeks. You'll get all seven at the same time, but what I
Uh-huh.
do advise you to do is just do 1 week at a time because you need
Yes.
time to, you know, integrate, and especially with the energy, especially the sound journeys that you're listening to, you need time to integrate and then time to be able to ground that with the content that's in the 7 week money mindset course. And then there's the Abundance Shift digital workbook, which supports you in helping you to repattern or change the patterns or change the thoughts around how you feel about money, making money, receiving money. And I just want people to know also, like, there's credibility behind these products. You know, clients have used them and received unexpected money, received ideal clients. There's all sorts of wonderful ways that they've received money unexpectedly.
Nice.
Yes. And so all of that, I think it's a huge discount, like 70%.
Girl,
Yeah, it
you
says
could
it.
have done the money mindset alone for the 111. So I was thinking, wow, this is a really great.
This is a huge package.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
because
mean,
I want people to play
yes,
around
yes,
with money too, and dragons and money.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's
We
not
want to
just
play
money.
with dragons and money too.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
Like, let's
doesn't?
do it, you know? Like, why not? They're here to help us become prosperous in
yes,
our health, in our life, in our wealth, like everything. So
yes.
why not?
Mhm.
And people
Yeah.
forget sometimes that money does help to improve the health. It improves the your relationships. It improves the things that you care about, whether that's a platform or the
Yes,
charities that you have. There is a
absolutely.
reason why abundance plays a role in our society, and it creates freedoms that helps us help more people.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I
yes.
think that's wow. Would you say that is another message that the dragons are helping us to foster in? Because this is
Yeah,
coming up
lately,
more, and that is,
yeah, lately they've been talking about abundance in the last
yeah,
few sessions that I've had with them.
that's so
And so
great.
it is because what you were saying, Lianka, about having more money allows us to help more people. The majority of people are going to use money in a very positive way for
Yeah,
themselves and for others. And then
yeah,
there's other group that chooses just to use it for themselves. But who's to judge like how people spend their money? Do you know what I mean? I think that's
exactly.
our hang up is we see people who we don't agree with in terms of how they use their money, and then
Yes,
we think that money is bad, or we think that we'll be selfish or something if we have money. And it's totally the opposite. It's like you need money to take care of yourself. And then once you've taken care of yourself, you can also take care of others. And that is not selfish. That is you being generous, you being who you are, and you being in the abundance of money.
yes,
Yes.
yes. I'm so glad that you said that too, because I could hear that. I heard like, this is why this time is coming up. This is like what the dragons want us to know. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes it can be lost, and
Yes.
especially with all our old belief systems. So thank you so much for
Yes.
taking charge of that, and really bringing forth this beautiful package. My gosh,
Oh,
I was
that's
looking at it and I was like, she could have done that
right.
one for just
I
111
know.
on its own.
Absolutely. And by the way, you guys, within this, we have kind of talked a little bit about the Hertz frequencies, but you can choose if you want to add those, or we also have a sound engineered thing for chakra frequencies. So if you really know that your body responds to frequencies, there's some cool stuff at an insanely reduced price as well.
Yeah,
So I hadn't mentioned
that
it
yeah,
before.
you can do as an add-on. Teresa, do you have any parting? God, how did time go by? Any parting words for us today?
Oh, man. Um, I would just encourage you to, as you're exploring and listening and learning from all these amazing teachers and mentors, I would encourage you to pick and choose, right? Like, you don't
Yeah.
have to believe everything that I say. Just pick and choose what you want and pick and choose what you think will benefit yourself, and create your own type of spirituality, your own type of, religion, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
because there's like no right or wrong. It's just what you choose to do, how you choose to live, and how you want to show up in the world.
Yeah.
Beautifully
Beautiful
stated.
message. Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having
My
me.
gosh, thank you so much for
Yay.
joining us.
We
I
are
feel
going to come
like
see you at some point. I know
yeah,
it.
right here in Austin, Texas, we can just drive on up there
Yeah.
I
sometime.
know.
I really feel called to play in a deeper way with
Yeah, for
you.
sure. You're
Yeah.
so much magic, so much magic.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank
Thank you
you.
again. Thank you for having me on. Thank you everyone for coming. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Some of
Hang
the
out just a
comments were
couple
just,
messages.
yeah, create your magic. Awesome advice. Yes. Wow. I've been judging how other budget money destroy and uncreate that. Yes, for sure. And oh my gosh, such loving energy is so hard to describe.
Mark your calendar for next Tuesday. We will come back live with our regular talk show and we'll kind of give you a recap of the whole summit. Oh my gosh. What was your favorite part?
Oh, golly.
Can you even choose one?
Oh
Can you
gosh.
choose one per
No,
day?
no. There's so many different contributions. So I know that sounds like a cop-out answer.
Mm,
Let's see, something that was different from other times. I know you really enjoyed Karen's talk, and we've
oh
had
my
Karen on several
goodness.
times.
Yesterday with Karen and then Suzanne right after was just really an interesting combo where we just, played in the frequency for a very long time. And, and really watching Karen and how she took the spooky wookies and said, bye-bye, back to the
I
light.
always like
And
that.
it was like the energy that she was in doing that. It's like I should have just given her her fairy godmother wand.
I really enjoyed it seems like a lifetime ago. Emily Harrison's crystalline light body activation, the crystalline tube of light was
Oh
beautiful.
yeah, that was neat.
Y'all need to do that meditation. And Hamna was we hadn't had her on for almost like a year, and she has had some really mystical experiences. So I really invite you to check out her replay. She talked about, I mean, kind of I think we twisted her arm into talking about this post that she had up on Facebook, but it really talked about Yeshua and her experience with that, and how she repatterned and found familiarity by even doing like army crawls on the ground in order to. She really talked about her whole her whole experience and journey, and I thought that was really fascinating, and how she's really working with energies today.
Lindsay Robinson's hypnosis that
yeah.
like I was like so in that suggestive place. I was like, whoa.
And even Jamie Wozni, she had
She was good.
very pragmatic, like
So pragmatic.
yes,
Like
how you receive others, and what was the exchange that we did? And I felt like I wanted to do that with my husband and with you. Like I mean, it was very, and then doing that with ourselves. It was you have to take
like the seer.
Yes. And even doing that with myself, I thought, wow, when else have I been able to just hear myself tell myself what I wanted to see and experience?
So put in the chat your favorite part.
Quentin was fascinating.
Phyllis's activation. Quentin was fascinating. So fascinating that so many people bought his offer that we had to put it at a different price point.
Yeah, because we sold out at the
amount that he was willing to offer us because it's his actual personal time. So
he still is giving us a really great deal on the
better than what he has on his main.
Exactly. So definitely go check that out. I would choose it if you want to now, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna raise those rates, and I don't think he's gonna do it again.
Yeah, he's like, no, too much from how that's old.
Well, our community really resonated.
Yeah, diagnosis through the eyes. That was
and
a little bit different energy because he comes from this place of real detox and nutrition and stuff like that. But man, so many stories and testimonials to his work. That was incredible.
Katie, it was all great. Hard to say to pick a single one. Phyllis activation was amazing.
That was great.
Oh, thank you. Had to choose. I agree. It's hard to choose. I could say stuff about Miriam Katz. She is so precise. She goes straight in, like the way she reads, like you don't even have to tell her anything. The way she reads people and what's going on with them. It's like, I didn't say anything to you. How did you know that? And she has walked this shamanic journey for so long. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Hey guys, we also have a podcast, and we're going to take some of our favorite episodes from the series and put it on the podcast. So if you aren't following us on the podcast, you can find it through Apple at apple.houthustle.com. If you like listening to podcasts, we're also at Spotify,
Or anywhere where
Spotify.houthustle.
you find
Not
pods.
not everywhere.
Oh, okay. That's why I held your breath one time.
But I've been focusing on Apple because I really want to get some of you guys giving us testimonials and stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay. Well, yes, you can because I found us.
Because we're not on iHeartRadio and
Oh, that's different. But everywhere where you would have this
lots of podcast places.
Yes. Well, that's different. The iHeartRadio thing
Oh,
is
you
because
think
they,
so?
oh yeah, that they have their own streaming apps.
Uh-huh.
But like on Audible, you can find our podcast there.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
cool.
Yeah,
Very
see?
cool.
It's
Or
the
an
RSS
Audible.
feed.
Maybe I should make an audible.com.
Anyway,
you guys,
it's been
thank you guys
amazing.
so much for being a part of this. Please join our live show. We meet every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and we love just playing with the audience. So we love the live participation.
And of course, we have a YouTube channel, which
Mhm.
also has the podcast as well. So it's the video version of our podcast.
Mhm.
And it's at, anywhere where wherever you find YouTube, you just search Hout Hustle. So that's HAUTEHUSTLE, to find Hout Hustle, and our channel. She's laughing because I made a little
She made a little cheer out of it.
Guys, thank you so much. Want to remind you that a portion of proceeds goes to benefit youth and women-related causes. Right now, we're supporting riseandup.org. It's created from students who take in laptops and tablets to refurbish and give to other children in need. And with that, we want to say thank you. We love you. And we're Hout Hustle, reminding you to
take a little time to enjoy the woo.
woo.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.